Democratic Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib slammed the suspension of Representative Ilhan Omar's daughter from college after she participated in the pro-Palestinian protest on campus. From UM to Vanderbilt to USC to Columbia, students across our country are being retaliated against for using their constitutional right to protest genocide. It's appalling. Tlaib added while sharing she's post to social media platform X. Omar's daughter, announced earlier that day in her post that she had been suspended from the university for standing in solidarity with Palestinians facing a genocide. How does a student with no disciplinary record suddenly get to a suspension less than 24 hours after a nonviolent protest? What merits asymmetric crackdowns on Palestinian human rights protests? Ocasio-Cortez said, also sharing Hershey's post. I'm an organizer with CU Apartheid Divest. In my 3 years at Barnard College, I have never been reprimanded or received any disciplinary warnings. Here she said in her post, I just received notice that I am one of 3 students suspended for standing in solidarity with Palestinians facing a genocide. Here she added, Columbia University noted here she is a student at Barnard College, which is connected to Columbia but has some independence. Barnard did not comment on specifics Thursday, but pointed to an announcement from its senior staff saying Columbia and Barnard students set up an unauthorized encampment on Columbia's South Lawn. Columbia made multiple requests that students participating in the protest leave the lawn before a number of Barnard senior staff also went to the lawn to ask students participating in the encampment to leave, according to the statement. Senior staff members also advised students they would face sanctions if they did not leave. In addition to written warnings, they would receive interim suspension if they did not leave by Wednesday night, according to the school. The sanctions against students participating in the protest came 2 days after the University of Southern California revoked its valedictorian's ability to deliver a speech at graduation due to substantial security risk after discovering she had links to pro-Palestinian sites on her social media. The suspensions also come amid a wave of demonstrations and protests at U.S. college campuses in the aftermath of Hamas's October 7th attack on Israel. Hirschi's suspension took place a month after civil rights groups filed a lawsuit against Columbia University for suspending pro-Palestinian student groups during the previous fall semester. The Hill has reached out to Omar's office for comment. When I first saw this story, I was completely ready to take the side of Omar's daughter because I said, hey, I think students should be able to protest and go out of their way to talk about things that are bothering them or that they think are important. But now that I've read the story and have a little bit more understanding, as far as I can tell, these students were given warnings about, hey, you can't have an encampment where you're blocking off people from being able to come to a place for whatever the allotted amount of time they had was before the staffers started to come over there. And from what it seems, they kind of just said, hey, we're going to keep our protests going. And now that they've received a penalty for ignoring the wishes of the staff, they're saying that they're being silenced, they're being gone after for protesting. But I don't know. I think that if your encampment is unauthorized and it's on the premises of the campus, and they're telling you stop doing this, and they even give you some warnings that if you'll face sanctions if you don't leave. I don't know. It just seems to me that this is not as clear cut as they're trying to make it sound. Like, if they were just, let's say some person came and spoke at the school and they go and they protest them by holding up signs or doing some other short-term thing, whatever. But can I really say I support students going and blocking off areas for prolonged periods of time, and then when they're told, hey, you're going to get a penalty for doing this, saying that they're being censored or silenced? So I want to just make this clear. I don't support Israel's government, their apartheid state. I don't support Hamas attacking innocent people. But I can't say I fully back or endorse taking an area that you're not authorized to just take over and throwing your hands up in the air and going, oh, look at what they're doing to me, after they tell you, stop doing this, you're going to get punished if you continue to persist in this activity. Which I think is different from just regular protests, because most protests are probably, people sit out there for an hour, some amount of time where it's like they're specifically in that place for a period to protest something that's occurring there, not, well, we're just going to take this spot over, and then if we get in trouble, we'll say that we're being gone after for our pro-Palestine views. I think if they were protesting, for example, the Ukraine war, they might have faced probably the same circumstance, consequence of, you have an unauthorized encampment, and we don't like that you're stopping people from being able to go to where they're trying to go, or that you're in this area that we don't want you to be in for this prolonged period of time. Get out, or you're going to face a penalty for it. And they didn't seem to care until they faced the penalty, and by that point it was already too late. And isn't it kind of sad that if this were just a normal lady, normal girl, who was gone after for an illegal encampment and wasn't a congresswoman's daughter, you probably wouldn't hear about it. So again, I really hope what I say here is not being misrepresented. I support the right to protest. I support the right to express yourself, but I think there is some merit to an institution telling you you can't do this because you're blocking off an area, or you're taking up some specific part of our domain, and giving you multiple warnings before they take action. And it just seems to me that they're trying to make it more about being punished for your particular view, and it's really about the form of protest that you engaged in. So I know I'll have a bunch of progressives ready to destroy me after this, but I'm just telling the truth. I don't come on here trying to acquiesce to anyone. It's just that, to me, I think protests can be a beneficial thing that people have the right to do, but if there are rules against what types of things you can do in certain places, I think they should be adhered to. So that's that.